a first-time home buyer, what are 3 things that you would advise me to be best prepared in this market today?
Yeah, that's a really good question. So the 3 things that I would be doing as a buyer today is 1, ignore the headlines.
Okay.
2, come prepared. And 3, be honest.
Okay, prepared. What is be prepared?
Wait, hold on. Let's start from you. Ignore the headlines. What is that?
Okay, we'll
Well,
start with that.
clearly there's a lot of misinformation out there, right? And people want to sell doom and gloom. And so you really have to find out what's really going on and what the truth is. And so, let us be that beacon of truth for you, and let us be your advisor and really give you what's really going on in the market and look forward to the next 2, 3, 4 quarters and what's likely to come, the opportunities that may be out there for you. And so, I would definitely say watch less TV and
Get the real education.
get the real truth, right?
Well, I think not just that. It's because you guys are at the front lines, and so you have your ears to the ground and you get boots to the ground, whatever it is. You're getting real life experience in real time, and I feel like your knowledge is not being shared for clickbait. Right? You're not trying to just capture someone's attention. And I think also because everything's so personalized and individualized on a case by case basis, a lot of the generalities that one might see in a headline may not apply to someone specifically. Right?
Absolutely. And everybody's unique income asset profile is unique to their circumstances, to their affordability. There's clients who get in at the very highest debt to income ratio because maybe they know a job promotion is in the works or is imminent. Maybe they know they have some inheritance coming in. And so every situation is unique.
Their OnlyFans is picking up.
Their OnlyFans subscription just went off but yeah, so everybody's situation is unique, and it's up to us as advisors to really dissect that situation and provide the right proper guidance for that client.
So really, I mean, that's why we're making this video. We want to make sure that you get the right information,
Right.
and that you're not just making life decisions based on these headlines.
Yeah, and so the second one is really be prepared, right? This is still a very fast-paced market, right? We're still seeing multiple offers on homes. And, I always tell my clients, you don't want to be in the position where you're out there shopping, you went to an open house, you fell in love with your dream home, but you don't have your pre-approval ready, right? And so be prepared. It's a great exercise to go through, right? Starting with the numbers will help build that home ownership roadmap for you. It'll give you a lot of clarity into affordability, what closing costs look like. And so I always tell my clients, start with the pre-approval. Be prepared. Make sure that you have all your documents ready to go, and let us be that advisor for you, and so.
And that brings me to my next question. So what kind of documents, what should I have
That's good.
when I'm ready to get my pre-approval?
Yeah, I mean, I can do an entire class on product, right? Because there's so many. That's the one really cool thing that has come out of COVID, is that there's so much new product that has come out that has entered the mortgage industry and the mortgage market that allows us to say yes to more people. Specifically around the self-employed borrower, right?
That's huge.
Yeah.
Actually.
And which is awesome because we've kind of put them in this category for so many years, into the same bucket as the firefighter or the nurse that gets a W-2 and is on a base salary, right? And so we kind of put everybody in the same category. Now we have product to really tailor a loan product for their specific scenario, whether they're that business owner, they own a restaurant, they own a boutique, whatever it is.
Or
And
you have an OnlyFans.
oh, you have an OnlyFans.
I know. I have a lot of friends that come
sponsors?
from the entertainment industry, and there are a lot of self-employed artists out there.
Yeah.
So it's nice to hear. 'Cause
That's
we get
actually one of our niche.
questions.
I think about 50% of our clients work in entertainment. We do a lot of business in the Northeast LA community, and obviously that's a high concentration of entertainment industry clients. It could be grips, post-production people, writers, location scouts, art directors, and that the way that client gets paid is very unique. It's not the way the traditional person that walks and punches a clock every day. And so we have product to serve almost anybody. So as far as documentation goes, right, it could vary client to client. If you're going to be on one of our self-employed flex products, then we might be looking for bank statements and analyzing your income in a very unique way. And actually, we won't even be looking at tax returns. We don't want to look at tax returns because maybe you have some creative tax strategies that doesn't reflect creative.
Cheetah! Coach, come on. Cheetah!
That doesn't really reflect your true earning power and potential, right? And so, if you're in the bucket of the more traditional salaried W-2 borrower, then the list is a little bit different. But I think we do a good job of making sure we set the right expectation up front. We're very clear on what we need. We don't want to ask the borrower for the same document over and over. And that was one of my pet peeves when I was going through the mortgage process, being asked for the same documentation over and over. It's like, I already sent that to you. But so I think we do a really good job of just being very clear and concise up front.
That's awesome.
Yeah. And the third thing is,
Oh, I'm sorry. Before we jump
go
into
ahead,
the thing real fast, I love that you mentioned the be prepared thing, because I think there is some sort of mental block. It's kind of, I'm going to make an analogy where if you're saying, oh, I want to get fit for summer, I want, hot girl summer or whatever, like I want to get ready, the first thing you got to do is start taking metrics and start actually looking. You got to step on the scale, right? And I feel like for a lot of people, that financial scale is what they're afraid of,
Yeah,
right?
they
Like,
don't want to look at that.
because the home buying process and owning a home, it is an emotional thing, and you don't necessarily want to be told no. You don't want your dreams crushed before you can even have the dream. So I feel like a lot of people are like, well, let's look at houses first, and let's get the dream going, right? I think it's one of those things where the sooner that you start that process, the sooner you step on the scale, so to speak,
Sure.
You can start tempering your expectations and really start coming up with a plan for yourself. And I think that's going to move the needle for you much more than you think. It's just shining that spotlight, taking a look, and just saying, hey, this is where I am. This is where I want to be. What's the fastest, shortest way from point A to point B?
Yeah, and that's a really good point, Grant, because we talk to so many clients who, use the mortgage calculators on Redfin or on Zillow,
Right.
and it's crazy how much misinformation on those tools, especially specifically when it comes to PMI, right? A lot of clients at these higher home prices don't have 20% down, which honestly, again, that's probably another class. There's really no incentive. There's really no incentive to try to get to 20% down. That's another common myth, that if I don't have 20% down, I can't buy a house. And so, that's so not true, especially in today's market. Maybe we will do a class on PMI.
I think
because
that would be a good idea.
Yeah, we'll do a whole other video on it.
because PMI on Redfin and all of these different Zillow apps and their mortgage calculators on their websites are so far off from the truth, And so we talked to a lot of clients who thought coming in, my highest price point I can do is $900. And when we give them the actual numbers, they're like, wait, I thought the PMI was going to be $450. That's what the Redfin app said. And I'm like, no. PMI is, $85 or $120, a third or a quarter of what they thought it was going to
I feel
be.
like those calculators have not been doing any favors.
It's
Because
crazy,
I think that if they're not adjusting each thing to properly, then they're gonna get a completely different outcome, and they're gonna walk away with that knowledge.
Yeah, absolutely.
And
So
And be disappointed later on when they're looking at a house that, they
Or
can't
maybe it
afford.
stops them
They
from
should.
taking
You
action
know, they
when they
should
could have
have
been.
something.
Yeah.
So.
So
Sorry to interrupt. I want to hear your number 3.
Oh yeah. So be honest, right? I think there's sometimes a perception that, when a client talks to us that they can't tell us everything, right? Or they want to omit certain information that they might think will prevent them or preclude them from getting financing, right? And so I tell all my clients, this is like the confessional, right? I'm the priest. You tell me
Tell me all
everything.
your sins.
Tell me all your sins. Tell me who you forgot to pay. Tell me who
There's
you owe
no
money
judgment.
to. Yeah, exactly. I don't make any
Don't tell
judgment.
me where the body's at.
Yeah, right, exactly. So I think we want to make sure we are looking at the borrower's entire profile, and we know the totality of the circumstances. We know everything about them, the ins and the outs, and so I think it's important for the clients to understand that it's part of our job as mortgage advisors to structure their deal in the best way possible so that it results in the outcome and the goal that we all are achieving, which is home ownership, right? So it's my job to make sure I structure that deal in a way that's conducive to a loan approval and a funding so that they can get keys at the end of the day. So I think that's the one thing that I think sometimes I hear hesitation in a client's voice, like, oh, should I be telling you that? Yes, tell me everything.
Tell me too much.
Yes,
TMI is
exactly.
good.
Yes, TMI in this situation is good. So It'll just cost you a couple of Hail Marys and a 2 Our Fathers, but that's the worst that it can be. But those are my 3 things that I would recommend a buyer do in today's market.
If
I feel like those are the last one is very important because you don't want things to slow up your escrow.
Yeah.
These type of things start to pop
You
up.
want to find out before, and that's why like you do the fully underwritten pre-approvals beforehand, so you can kind of figure all this stuff out before, and not while you're in escrow in a time-sensitive thing where stresses could be higher.
Right.
No surprises.
Yeah.
Right.
This is not the transaction you want any surprises on, right?
I feel like though a lot of my clients they've been nervous because I think they've been taught like security breach, like they don't, especially with their own like financial situations and things like that, they don't want to tell someone that they don't know necessarily. That's why I was trying to introduce a lot earlier to get that.
Well, you know, that you bring up a really good point, Laura, because it's such an intimate process.
It is.
I mean, and because it's an intimate process, it comes with tremendous responsibility, right? There's no doubt that I'm getting into the nitty gritty of someone's financial health and profile. They're lifting up the kimono and showing us everything, right? And I think that it's important to understand that there's a lot of responsibility that comes with that, right? And so for us, I think we do a good job of just kind of lowering that wall and ensuring the client that, one, their information is always going to be confidential and private, and that it's going to be secured in the most private and secure way on our portal. We don't recommend clients emailing us documents. We have this awesome encrypted portal where documents can be uploaded securely and safely. But it is, and it comes with a lot of responsibility, right? You know, we get to get a preview or really a look behind the scenes of what's really going on with that client's financial profile, and so we don't take that lightly.
Yeah. Oh, that's awesome.
I just want to add something, sorry, real quick. That if you're friends and family and you're working with us as agents, and you're worried, oh, hey, I don't necessarily want my friends to know all this stuff about me. Just so you know, your mortgage professional, Daniel, they're not going to share. Just because we're working together on the deal doesn't mean that we get to peer into all your financials too.
I can't share it.
Yeah.
To be clear, I
So
actually can't share it.
There's full confidentiality in between, so you don't have to worry about everyone knowing what's going on with your financial profile.
Yeah.
That's very important.
Yeah.
It's important because I think a lot of people are nervous about that,
Yeah.
you know, to come to you because of that. So yeah, we don't see that. We just get the pre-approval.
Yeah, exactly. There's very limited information we can provide, and we're not getting into the details on, oh my God, they haven't paid their Victoria's Secret bill. But yeah, so that all stays behind the scenes. Yeah.
Okay.
For people to know that you guys are on their team, you're working to get them in the best situation possible, and that there is no, I don't know if judgment's the right word, but no judgment, no, you know, they're safe with you guys and with us, because it is such an intimate thing.
It's an intimate process.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
And
Bottom
we all
line,
work together to, you know, make it happen.
Yeah.
exactly.
Team.
Love it.